All right, let's see if we can make this one come up a treat. It's a bit boring, but we can make it look good. Some boring things can turn out looking like really good. It's a good feeling taking something boring and actually making it look good for a change. Going 400. Don't know if that's going to be too big. We'll soon find out. This is an interesting, boring one. Going to make it look more interesting, I do think. Maybe just a little light. Wondering if we're going to go and just stick that in the middle. We don't need to lighten it. It's probably too light anyway. All right, let's see what we've got. We're going to photocopy. That's boring. It is. Looks like they're cycling in the snow. But how can you cycle in the snow? I mean, wouldn't your tyres dig into the... I've never gone to the snow, so I don't know what it's like to be at the snow. But it looks like they're at the snow and they're riding their bikes through it, which is really... You wouldn't think you could do that very easily. So we're just going to move that up like so. So you wouldn't think you could do that with the bike. I mean, you can get bikes that have got fat tyres that are used in blizzards, but you still think it would sink into the snow nonetheless. I don't understand shit like that because I've never been to the snow, so something I never happened before. Never had the experience, never had the privilege. Anyway, it looks like we've got this ugliness at the bottom, but it looks like we've got the right size. We're going to have to use, I think this is a master copy, because we've still got that shit down there, but at least we got that rider in the image. I'm wondering if maybe I could make a better master copy by sliding this down, but we can't slide it down too much because we'll end up getting the writing from the top of the job, so we don't want to do that if we can avoid it. So I'm wondering if maybe it looks a bit backgroundy, so I'm going to just maybe remove a little bit of the background. So let's see if we can make this look better, and then we have to use it as a master copy because the 400% is not big enough for the horizontal. So let's see how that looks. That looks better. We've got the head is not so close to the edge, but we still have to use this as a master copy. This bloke in his bike, I'm wondering if we're going to move it across or if we're going to leave it like that, and we're just going to whatever. So we're just going to take this, and I'm actually thinking the man on his bike could be in the frame a bit better than it is. So we do want him to be in the picture as well. So I'm wondering if I've done that correctly, if I've guesstimated it, guessed it properly. But it is a boring piece of work to work with, at least at the beginning, but now we've made it worse. I've actually pushed him out of the frame, so I fucked up. It's all fucked up. Maybe it might be okay to have him partly out of the frame because we're going to make it into a mirror image anyway. So maybe we're just going to get rid of this boring, I don't know what it is, Osana Cremon. So whatever, it's some kind of falling over related thing. I should have a look at it, but anyway, we're going to take off the 400 and we're going to enlarge it to get rid of that. And unfortunately it's on an angle as well, which is a pain in the ass. I didn't want it on an angle. That's another thing that I have to deal with, is the angle, but I think we're just going to ignore it. So X, which is the horizontal, is going to be 125, and the vertical is just going to be 104. Yeah, I think I fucked up with this one. I didn't do it as well as I was wanting to. So we're just going to maybe line it off a bit. But it looks a bit shithouse. I wish I had have moved it better that I positioned it better. So now I'm thinking I'm going to just angle it slightly to make up for that angled bullshit. So we're just going to angle it slightly. Just trying to get rid of that angle that I've accidentally put on it. I don't know how it's going to work, folks. Let's see if we've made that look a lot better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Still, we've got the angle, we've angled it, and we've just got a little bit, we've got to enlarge a little bit off the edge. I don't know how this is going to actually look as a mirror image. It looks like a disaster. So, I think the vertical is going to need a little bit more strength. So we're going to make the vertical 107. I'm going to add it in 107. I've got a feeling this demo is going to be a flop. It looks shithouse. It doesn't look exciting, and it doesn't look like it has much potential as a mirror image. But I could be wrong. Maybe the cyclists could make it look good. Now we've gotten rid of that. So we've got our two cyclists. Wondering, we're going to just run with it. We can't always have a demo that works well. I may be thinking, I was thinking of making it into a movement piece, but we won't. It might look better once I've actually put it together. But I'm disappointed with the overall look of it. I thought it would be a boring one. Hate boring demos, folks, but they happen. Sometimes I don't have much in the way of things to find to demo with. Sometimes I just have to take some shitty objects and take a bit of a punt, if you will, on how nice it's going to look. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. But this might be better than I think. For all we know, we'll soon find out. Sometimes once I've made something into a mirror image, I'm pleasantly surprised. And that's really a rewarding feeling, and it's a pleasant surprise when something actually works. But not all demos turn out with happy endings. But you can't expect this to happen because we're not in utopia. We're not in a world that's perfect. And because the world is imperfect, things are always going to go wrong, folks. No matter how well you rehearse your life, you don't always get it right. And that's something I'm learning myself about my life, is that I don't always get it right, and I have to accept that I've done the wrong thing, whether it be intentional or accidental. But anyway, I'm actually thinking that that's not bad. That looks interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.